barber freak out when he saw what was underneath his hair. My son Daniel has had some variation of long hair ever since he was 3 years old. His barber Joe was this stoic ex-military dude who had been cutting hair for 2 decades. He'd given Daniel mullets, flowing locks, whatever he wanted. But then for Daniel's 8th birthday, he decided to go short. He sat in the chair and showed Joe the picture of the undercut with the lightning bolt. "You got it, kiddo. I've done a dozen of these this month." Joe started sectioning Daniel's long hair up. The clippers were taking chunks off Daniel's hair when suddenly Joe furrowed his eyebrows. His hand froze mid-pass. He set the clippers down and started parting Daniel's hair in different spots, leaning in close. "Anthony," he called to his brother at the next station. "Need you here. We got a broken arrow." Anthony left his client with shaving cream still on half his face. I'd never seen him do that in 5 years. He put on his reading glasses and bent over Daniel's head, using both hands to carefully part the hair. Anthony had served alongside his brother and was an EMT for a decade before that. His fingers traced something on Daniel's scalp. "How long has he had these?" Anthony's voice was different. "Had what?" I stood up to look, but Joe gently held up his hand. Anthony showed me. There were marks all over Daniel's scalp, a grid pattern of scars and welts hidden under all that hair. Some looked old, healed over. Some were maybe a few weeks old, still pink. A couple looked fresh, like within days. Fresh. "These are systematic," Anthony said. "Restraint marks, maybe, or pressure points. Someone's been doing this deliberately." Joe crouched down to Daniel's eye level. "Buddy, who's been hurting you?" Daniel looked confused. "Nobody hurts me." "Daniel, honey, you can tell us," I said. My voice was shaking. "These marks? What marks?" Daniel touched his head. "Nobody does anything to me." The thing is, he seemed genuinely confused. Not scared, not protecting someone, just plain confused. "My husband and I don't hit. We've never even spanked him." Joe knew that. He'd known us for years. "You need to get him to the ER," Anthony said. "I'll call ahead to my friend in Peds. They need to document this." He was already pulling out his phone. This needs to be reported." The doctor at the ER found 15 distinct mark sites, different stages of healing suggesting repeated incidents over months. The photographs took an hour. CPS was called before we even left the exam room, and 2 detectives interviewed my husband and me separately. They asked the same questions in different ways. When did we notice? Who watched him? Does he play sports? Has his behavior changed? They even pressured us, threatening us with prison time and court cases if they found anything fishy. Daniel went through 3 different forensic interviews that week. 2 separate child psychologists with special training. They used dolls and drawings. But Daniel just kept saying the same thing. Nobody hurt him. He felt fine. We had to pull him from school while they investigated. The social worker said it was necessary until they could clear his teachers, coaches, everyone who had access. This destroyed us. Our friends stopped texting, assuming we hit our child no matter how many times we told them no. Our neighbors whispered when we walked outside with Daniel. My sister even took it upon herself to uninvite us from Sunday dinner until the truth came out. This was genuinely ruining our life. We'd sit with Daniel every day. We spent thousands on various brain scans and trauma specialists, seeing if the scars were repressed memories or maybe an undiagnosed brain condition, but got nothing. That's when Daniel started having nightmares. He'd wake up with these dark circles under his eyes. The day he admitted to having nightmares, he ran to his room and locked it like he had just spilled a terrible secret. He never brought the nightmares up again and refused to talk about them when asked. 7 weeks after that haircut, he woke up in a cold sweat. He knocked on our door drenched and crying, then crawled into our bed and hugged me while saying sorry. After 2 hours of gentle reassurance, I finally got it out of him. "Mr. Kearney does special exercises," he whispered, "with the kids who need help focusing, like me." My face went white. "Mr. Kearney, his favorite teacher who ran the after-school robotics club." "In the supply closet," Daniel continued, "during recess. He has this special crown that helps us focus better." The police descended on Daniel's elementary. Mr. Kearney was questioned for 6 hours. They searched his classroom, his car, his house, his computer. The strange thing was that he cooperated completely, even welcomed the investigation. Turns out Mr. Kearney had alibis, conference in Boston, documented sick leave, video footage showing him in the teacher's lounge when Daniel's recess was happening. He even showed the special crown Daniel had mentioned. It turned out to be a sensory tool from Amazon with soft silicone nubs. He had the receipt, and his occupational therapist confirmed she recommended he buy it for the kids in his class with ADHD like Daniel. He demonstrated the crown on himself. You could press as hard as possible and it wouldn't leave those kinds of marks. They made him take a polygraph and he passed it. After almost 2 weeks of combing through his entire life, Mr. Kearney was cleared. We were devastated because Daniel, who had seemingly gotten better after he told us the truth, was once again spiraling. But then we met with the principal to talk about potential next steps. He mentioned Mr. Kearney was taking a break from teaching, but his son, 19-year-old Larry, who was studying engineering, would be taking over the robotics club. Daniel instantly went rigid. Then he started crying, shaking. LL Larry, full story on channel linked below.